Hello, welcome to my channel StuckFiles. Today we will discuss about why it sucks to be a doubles specialist. When you think of tennis glory, the spotlight rarely lands on doubles specialists. Singles champions get the magazine covers, endorsement deals, and global fame. Meanwhile, doubles players quietly grind in the shadows, despite playing at the highest level. They put in the same hours, feel the same pressure, and fight just as hard, yet barely get noticed. TV coverage skips their matches. Prize money, a fraction of singles. And don't even get started on recognition. Most fans can't name even one top doubles team. Despite being world-class athletes, their accomplishments are often seen as secondary. And in the eyes of many, they're playing a lesser version of the sport. It's a tough pill to swallow for players giving their all on the court. So today, let's break it down. Why it sucks to be a doubles specialist. Section 1. Less spotlight, same sacrifice. Being a doubles specialist means putting in all the work with barely any of the reward. You wake up early, train for hours, study opponents, sharpen your game. You compete on the same courts under the same rules, but the world acts like you don't exist. Even at Grand Slams, center court is reserved for single stars. Doubles matches get pushed to outer courts, with small crowds and almost no media coverage. Commentators barely mention your name. Cameras might not even be there. Meanwhile, singles players get interviewed after practice. You can win a title and barely get a headline. It's frustrating. You're playing elite level tennis, but you're treated like a warm-up act. And it's not just ego, it's opportunity. Sponsors want visibility. Broadcasters want stars. Fans want drama. Doubles just doesn't sell the same way, and you pay the price. Even if you're ranked top 10 in the world, you're often invisible outside the tennis bubble. The public doesn't understand your value, and when you finally get attention, it's usually just to fill dead air time. You sacrificed everything for the sport and still get treated like a side note. Section 2. The chemistry trap. In doubles, it's not just about your talent. It's about chemistry, timing, trust. You can be an incredible player, but if the partnership doesn't click, it won't work. And finding the right partner? It's like dating in a cutthroat, performance-driven world. One bad stretch and you're ghosted. Lose a few matches, they might try someone else. There's no loyalty, just results. And the worst part, you can play perfectly and still lose because your partner was off that day. It's out of your hands, literally. Now imagine doing all the mental and physical prep just to hope they bring it too. And if they don't, it reflects on you just as much. Doubles is about synergy, but in reality, it often feels like you're one shaky week away from unemployment. You're constantly walking on eggshells, trying to keep the partnership alive, even when it's not your fault. And when it breaks down, back to square one. New partner, new rhythm, new hope, and new uncertainty. It's a never-ending loop that wears you down. Section 3. The paycheck reality. Let's talk money, because that's where it really stings. Singles players, they're fighting for six-figure prizes, sometimes more. Doubles, split the pot, and what's left is often peanuts. You grind through matches, travel city to city, and after expenses, you're lucky to break even. Hotel, flights, coaching, training, physio, all the same costs as singles, but half the earnings, if that. There are Grand Slams where first-round singles losers earn more than the doubles champions. Let that sink in. You win a major with a partner and still get paid less than someone who lost their first match alone. And for most doubles specialists, it's not even the Grand Slams. It's the smaller ADP 250s, the challengers, where prize money barely covers the Uber from the airport. You could have a winning season and still struggle to afford your team. This isn't just unfair, it's demoralizing because it sends a clear message: you're not valued the same. Even if you're elite in your format, the system barely supports you. So you're constantly hustling on the court and off it just to survive the calendar year. Section 4. The Partnership Trap. Singles tennis is all about you. You win, you lose, it's on your shoulders. But in doubles, you're only as good as your partner. And that's a double-edged sword. Even if you're playing lights out, if your partner is off, you're done. Chemistry is everything, but it's fragile. One injury, one scheduling conflict, one disagreement, and your whole rhythm collapses. You can go from winning titles to scrambling for someone new mid-season. And finding the right partner, that's an art in itself. Similar playing styles, communication, shared goals, compatible rankings, that it's like dating, but with rackets, rankings, and prize money at stake. And when things go wrong, there's now here to hide. Missed volleys, broken plays, strategy disagreements. The tension builds fast, and careers get derailed quietly. You see players change partners like musical chairs, not always by choice, but by necessity. Because when you're not part of a winning duo, you're replaceable. Doubles is a game of trust. But in a sport where survival depends on results, trust can fade quickly. And you're back to square one, hoping the next match isn't your last with someone who actually clicks. Section 5. The Retirement Cliff. Being a doubles specialist has a strange timeline. You don't peak early. You don't rise fast. And when you finally build respect, time is already against you. Because double success often comes later. After years of grinding in singles, after switching focus due to injury, or simply because no one gave you a shot earlier, by the time you find your rhythm in doubles, you're already older than most top singles players. Sponsors have moved on. Federations are backing the next generation. And fans, they don't even know your name. You can have a career year at 34 and still walk through airports unnoticed. And when retirement looms, there's no farewell tour, no ESPN highlights, just a quiet end to a career few people followed. No matter how consistent you were, no matter how many Grand Slam semis you reached, you slip out of the game with barely a whisper. Because in tennis, doubles glory fades faster than it's earned. And when your time's up, you realize you gave your life to a version of the sport that never really gave back. As we deeply discussed everything in all 5 sections, so now you know being a double specialist sounds like a dream to some. Less wear and tear, more longevity, team dynamics, strategic play. But behind the scenes, it's a grind. You don't get the spotlight. You don't get the endorsement deals. You don't even get the benefit of doubt when things go wrong. You're expected to perform with rotating partners. You're judged by casual fans who don't understand your role. And most of the time, you're invisible. You hustle for appearance fees. You scrape by on prize money that's a fraction of singles. You travel just as far, train just as hard for less recognition, less respect, less reward. And when people talk about tennis legends, your name's not even in the conversation. Even if you've lifted major trophies, even if you've beaten the best. Because in tennis, being great at doubles still means being second. Second in pay, second in prestige, second in history books. So here's to the double specialists, the silent tacticians, the fighters in the shadows, the ones who've mastered the art of teamwork in a sport obsessed with individuals. You may not hear the crowd chant your name, but without you, tennis wouldn't be complete. Because while everyone wants to be the star, you learned how to win together. And that's a legacy no scoreboard can capture.